Welcome to Drum and Drummer, a podcast focused on drums, drumming and drummers. I'm George Pickering and that's Ben Winty, and we are both professional drummers in this business we call music. So stick around and join us as we pass the time whilst trying to stay in time.
Take it as a compliment. You're so good. They think they're listening to the record. Take it as that.
Yeah, maybe. I think, just
I
a
went
lot
to
of
this
people.
gig in Glasgow and it was just people miming. Welcome to Drum and Drummer Podcast with Ben Winty and George Pickering. Sponsored by drumcharts.co.uk. The one place to get your one-page PDF drum charts for the working drummer. All right?
Is that AI?
No, that was me.
Oh, cool. Very
Literally,
good.
I just thought of that.
I mean, I could tell. You just thought of that.
Yeah. I said the word one a lot, you know.
Yeah,
But
that's okay. That's all right.
that's fine. I mean, that's a selling point, really.
What, one?
Yes, one page,
Yeah.
£1, 49p. You know, it's all there. One man, one dream.
One vision.
One vision, exactly. Although we have no vision because...
Good. That's the best one you've ever done.
Brilliant,
Yep.
that is top
Yeah.
banana.
That's great.
Your internet's rubbish. So
It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I got 2 megabits or whatever it is.
yeah. You know, and I'm rocking 74 and I'm not even proud of that because I got 500 piping into this gaff.
Yeah.
I'm just really far away from the router, innit?
Yeah.
You get that shit hardwired in, or even if you're just downstairs, it's probably with asbestos, isn't it? Just stopping it because 1950s, isn't it? So,
Right.
you know, we're doing it blind, so can't see each other, but we can definitely hear each other. We think
Yeah. Well, we can. We don't think.
we
We
can.
can.
Well, first things, George. Happy birthday for the other day.
Thanks.
Obviously, advent calendar chocolate start of the day. Was that on the agenda?
Do you know what? Did I have it? No, I think I just got up and left. So I had to be up so early. I think I forgot my advent calendar chocolate. But then you get 2 when you get back, you know?
Yeah,
Because
that's it.
obviously I was away.
It's a lesson for life, the advent calendar, isn't it? Because you've got 3 paths to take.
Yeah.
1, you have one every day, as intended by the Lord Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's what he said. He's on the cross. Oh, have one a day. You
Yeah.
know, don't be gluttonous. Yeah.
No,
Because he had abs. Do you know what I mean? So
he
he's
did, yeah.
rocking that sort of slow, steady pace. Oh, there's some fish and water, whatever. Well, give us some chocolate.
Yeah,
The 5,000 people cried out for, you know. 'Cause
exactly.
you're banging on about this. Anyway, so you have one a day and you moderate your joy.
Yeah.
Now, you got 2 other paths. One is scoff 'em all. Scoff 'em all. The greedy mouse, the greedy worm. You
Before
know?
it's even December, you know?
Yeah, just buy a few quid and just loads of chocolate.
Yeah.
And then, but you've had your filling, and
Yeah.
nothing left to enjoy
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
And you might shit yourself. Or you got the other one. You wait. You're denying the gratification, and then suddenly, So it's a lot to learn there, really.
Yeah. How long you wait? What, you wait until the 24th and then have loads on Christmas Eve?
I mean, my brother was very stingy with chocolate and money, things like that. He'd have Easter eggs still in December. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Dean had an Easter egg for about a year, you know?
Yeah.
I said, you got that for this Easter? No, that was last Easter. I said, and it used to annoy me.
I am not that sort of person.
No, nor am I. If there's chocolate, I will eat it. I remember one year loving my advent calendar so much that I was sad on Christmas Day when I went to check it. My dad went, "No, but it's Christmas though. There's other stuff now, you know."
Yeah.
I was like, "What? But where's the little chocolate though?" You know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
He said, "Don't worry about the little chocolate. You've got me."
Yeah. Yeah. You've got family.
Yeah.
Well,
I
I
can't eat
dunno.
them, can I?
Wow,
Yeah.
exactly. I'm going to start very quickly with something I forgot to mention last week. It was about the only thing I was going to mention, and I forgot it.
Yes.
I came up with a turn of phrase. I coined a phrase.
Yeah.
Cockney rhyming slang, if that's
Sure.
what you want to call it.
Yeah, I do.
So I was on a gig and with Tim Love and Chris Hampson, and it was
Lover
allowed. Oh, is that
boy.
one in Bewley? You know.
Master Builders.
Yeah, and it's a
Master
loud
Wankers,
room.
more like.
Well, this is it. It's a loud room, and I went.
It is
I
a
might-
loud room.
And I
Let
went.
that be known.
Yeah, I went. This might be a bit mental for sticks. So this is what I said. I went, maybe I'll get the old hot rods out, the old Rod Stewarts. And I went, hello. I think I just made up something there. I said to Chris, hey, Rod Stewarts, am I right? You know, just call them Stewarts. And I thought, if I can ever make something that will catch on, you know, we've tried with the podcast for 4 years now. It's getting there.
It's getting there. Sure.
If
More
I
than
could
10.
make Stewarts be, you know, the thing that I'm remembered for, then so you did hear it here first.
Yeah. Okay.
Hot rods, call them Stewarts, you know. And if anyone asks why, you go, well, Rod Stewart, hot rod, Stewarts, you know what I mean? So there you go. From now on, but you know, you think about it like, oh, bloody hell, it's a bloody Stewart's gig. Do you know what I mean? And be like, oh, is it? That's a shame. Is there a noise limiter or something? You know what I mean? So Stewarts, that's my thing I've made up.
Brilliant. Everyone go forth and spread the word of the Stewarts. Question: did you use Stewarts?
Yeah, I did.
Really?
And it was fine. Well, yeah, because it was so loud in that room that if you rim shot with a Stewart, then it's fine, and a kick is a kick. So it's just the cymbals really that are quieter, and it was actually fine with quieter cymbals. So it was good.
I gave him both barrels.
Well, you're on an electric kit, aren't you?
Hybrid. So
yeah.
I did have real cymbals and snare on that one. So absolutely right. We need something for sticks then. If we've got Stewarts, what's going to be sticks?
Any famous people called Stick?
I don't know.
I'm
happy to go. Just one is enough for today because we've got loads to talk about. Yeah. Have you got anything?
I've got little bits, but I feel like your text said the word buzzing. So
I am buzzing. I feel like I like doing a podcast. Yeah. Well, there is a topic that I want to talk to you about before we even get on to my birthday gig shenanigans. The topic is being asked by someone who gave you a gig if they could have the gig back.
Right. Yeah.
There's the topic. So I've had this a couple of times very recently. So Jordan Ferrugia, I am just going to name drop everyone because
Ferrugia.
Why not?
Creator of the Pack Brack.
So. Well, exactly. So he's been very
co-creator.
kind.
His cousin did most of it. But.
Well, yeah. So he's been very kind to me over the years, and in gifting me gigs, usually cajon gigs, but gigs nonetheless. And
the shit he doesn't want. Yeah,
basically. Because he's on something at the moment. He's been posting a lot of great playing clips with different artists. It's very cool. But he said, hey man, 12th of December, are you free? Cajon gig, you know. And this was a few weeks ago. I said, yeah. And he said he's going to be in Gibraltar. And then the Gibraltar thing fell through. And he was like, look, I'm sorry to ask, but, you know, I haven't got loads on in December. Can I have it back? And I said, yeah, it's all good, you know. Thinking, I don't want to be a dick, you know, and just kind of be like, no, I want that money. And then, because I thought, well, he's giving me so much work and whatever. Then it happened again yesterday with Daphne from the 80s band. And she sort of said, hey, look, there's a gig next year that you were on. The thing I was doing has fallen through. I hate to ask. And the message was so, you know, like I feel embarrassed even asking, but could I have it back? And I was like, yeah, it's fine. And because my thought is, like, it's one time and let's not make anything weird by, I don't know, affecting something that isn't even my gig, you know, and that one's so far away. And Jordan, he's been great all of the time I've known him. So I'm just like, yeah, let's have it back. But it's an interesting topic, isn't it? Because I think there are parameters to it. You know, if it's like the week of the gig, maybe not, you know. I don't know. Where do you stand on this?
I mean, it's a situation, I've been in the same boat. I think it depends on your relationship with the person. I think it depends on maybe track record of how many depth shows you've maybe done for them or things like that. Yeah, time and how long maybe before they ask to get it back. And we all have that stuff. And everyone knows, you know, most pro musicians, working musicians know, like, you know, the summer's the busy period. and it's all happening then, and then you have to give things out, you have to pass things on. But as you know, things fall through, and especially in the lean winter months with Mr. Taxman rearing his ugly head in January, you got to think about that sort of thing, and to feel like you, when you're on the other side, to feel like you have a gig that you could do, but you're not on it, you can kind of feel a bit like, that's not good, is it? That's not what I should be out playing this gig. It's my band, or it was my gig first. But you've sort of given that to someone, and then you're putting them in the same position where it's kind of money you think you're earning that then's going to be sort of, in a way, taken away.
Yeah.
So I mean, I had one, I think it was this year even, where I got asked to do a short notice gig on like a Tuesday or something, and then they were like, really sorry, the drummer was an idiot. He thought he couldn't do it. He thought it was a daytime thing. I mean, I don't know where's that come from, because it's a fucking wedding and all your other gigs are evening.
Yeah.
But he can do it now. And what I've done in the past, and what people have sometimes offered, is I go, you can have the gig back, but you got to buy me off it. Because it depends. If it's in this instance with this drummer, it was completely their fault that they fucked their diary up. Like, it was their stupidity that led to them getting a dep in, right? At short notice. So then I feel like, well, you've got to pay for that idiocy in a way, you know. But I think you got to weigh it up each time it happens. Depending on the people, I think you have to kind of go, and I think you got to look at the big picture and go, I don't want to piss this person off because they're giving me gigs, and I want them to keep giving me gigs. Yeah, you know, and you gotta do it like that, really. That's exactly all answers to every question, it's somewhere in the middle. Yeah, be sensible.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. I think it's like it's. I think genuinely, it's up to you. You know, the whoever's listening to this, it's, if you're in this position, do it how you want. You know, I thought, you know, that 80s band isn't my band, and I've made, you know, good money from them. The same with Jordan. He put me onto, you know, a load of good gigs that have made good money. So if it's just once this happens, it's like, yeah, fine, it's all cool, man. Like, rather than thinking of it as just one, I think that's it. Rather than thinking of it as like an isolated incident where it's like you were told you get this and now you don't. Instead, I go, all right, that's one, but think about all the gigs before.
Yeah. So that's why you got to play it by ear in terms of what's happened before that, and play the long game and go, yeah, don't piss this person off, because I'm sure there'll be something down the line. You know, if it keeps happening and it's really short notice, I think you can start to go into a bit of, look, bung me 50 quid. Yeah, and you can have it back. You know, that person's still making money. They've got their gig back, but you've not completely lost out, because you're also holding your date available, and maybe you've turned something down. You know, I think that in the situation I was in, it was a midweek gig, and the band manager, a good friend of mine, said, "Look, man, can you just give him the gig back?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's fine. He can have the gig back, because it was really short notice and it was midweek. If it's a Saturday in July," I was like, "Well, I've had it for 4 months in my diary, and I've turned down another gig or anything like that. And it's different. It is a different story." But anyway, food for thought.
When you say band manager, I feel like I know which band it is just from your circle of people.
Yeah, and we'll leave it there.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your birthday, mate. Let's talk about your birthday.
Oh, wait. Before we do, I've got one more thing.
Okay.
Funnily enough, speaking of losing gigs and getting them back or whatever, I had a similar thing. I'll just say this very quickly. So there's an Ariana Grande tribute, and I was put on a gig for the 18th of December. It was in the diary ages ago, and then I messaged like last month. I said, "Hey, is this still happening?" He said, "Oh, really sorry. Like, you know, we've actually got a different drummer for that. Sorry, I didn't let you know." Because there was a few other gigs I was doing, and that was sort of in the mix. You know, it's the Taylor Swift thing, and then one Ariana Grande. And I was like, that's fine. It's all good, just so I know, you know. And then I get a message from this drummer, Jacob, a loose friend of mine. He said, "Hey, man, I do this Ariana Grande tribute. I now can't do it, and there's a gig on the 18th. Could you do that?" And I was like, "You're not going to believe this. That was my gig I fought up until about a week ago. So, yeah, I'll have it back. Thanks." You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's that. It is odd not being able to see your face. Don't know what reaction I'm getting for that story.
Probably quite a nice thing, really.
Yeah. So, anyway, my birthday. Long old weekend, boy. Long
right,
weekend.
so let's go back. Let's get the facts in here first.
Yeah.
Right, so it was your birthday on Sunday.
Yes.
Yeah, 7th of December. Pop it in your diaries, people.
Yeah.
Same day every year.
Exactly.
And you had a gig with the Lainey Wilson Experience.
Yep.
In Glasgow.
In Glasgow.
Wow. Yeah. And we joked about it last week. You got three things: a gig, your birthday, and a gig in Glasgow. You can only do 2 of the 3.
Yeah.
You did all 3.
Yeah.
Like a true legend. Right. I saw on your Instagram. It took 12 hours to get there. Yeah. Right. I got a question, and this is only because I've done that before. I've played gigs in Glasgow, and they were usually on part of a tour, but one tour finished in Glasgow. Now, living in Portsmouth, I mean, that's the worst place you can finish a tour. And we did drive back the following day after the gig, and it took I think it took 9 hours or something like that. That was a good, 10 years ago. Traffic is a lot worse now these days.
Yeah.
Question. What when the gig was given to you,
Yeah.
we got a gig in Glasgow, what's everyone thinking?
Well, I was excited because
Right.
it's my birthday and I'd never been to Scotland. That was my fault.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I don't know. I think everyone was quite like, oh, cool, Glasgow, you know? It
Was
wasn't
there
like
any
a bad thing.
Thought of we should do a gig halfway the day before,
Wow.
the day after?
Wow. Yeah, so we have said, because we've got another one in Glasgow in January, I think somewhere else, and we did say that. We said, why don't we try and do a rodeos on the way up, you know? Because it was mental. So we so I left mine at 7 a.m.
So you left your flat in Brighton, Hove,
Yep.
specifically.
Yep.
7 a.m. 7 a.m.
Yep.
Because even to me, I mean, like that.
Yeah,
what time was your load in?
Wow, this was the thing. We were late for the load-in. I think 3.
Yeah.
But we got held up because it's, you're going all the way to Glasgow. So I got to George and Ben's for 8.
So your load in was 3
go
p.m. in Glasgow, and you left Brighton at 7. Was this a calculated? We're going to be late.
Yeah, I think it was kind of like sound checks at 5, and we just kind of went, okay, we're going to miss load-in, but we'll make it for the rest, sort of thing. Because then that's still 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 10 hours.
Yeah,
I guess.
Quick maths.
So you can do it. You can do it like that. But we got there at 5, and we were doing the sound check. I mean, the trip up was I get to Georgie and Ben's, then we get. Who do we get? Jimmy, then we get Chris. We had a Depp bass player on today. We'll get on to him. We get to Glasgow, and obviously it's, a hell of a long journey. And also it's dark, it's dark by 3:30. And rainy and miserable. And we have to go into almost like a weird, I can't explain it, like a turret, like a bomb shelter where the venue is. I don't know. It was weird.
What was the venue called?
The Classic Grand.
Okay.
In Glasgow.
Question.
But,
was it classic?
Yeah,
was it grand?
Well, it was definitely... I don't know. If classic means old to you, then yes. And if grand means big, then yes. But I wouldn't say it was a classy place, The load-in was awful. I mean, I filmed the load out,
saw the video.
But the load-in was just endless stairs.
And that's not what you want, is it? I mean...
It's not.
You've gone all the way to Glasgow from the fucking beach on the south coast.
Yeah.
And then you got to do that. And was it 5 flights of stairs?
Oh,
down an alley
5
and around the corner?
Yeah. And it all stinks of piss and feces,
It was your birthday, right? So you're riding high on the birthday love.
Yeah.
Any point you think, fuck this?
Well, do you know what? No, but it wasn't until the next day where we kind of reflected. Jimmy sent me a voice message and said, hey man, I feel like we should apologise because we didn't really do anything for your birthday, It was sort of, I think we had an idea that, okay, once we've sound checked, then maybe we'll go out and get some food or, But everything was so rushed. So we did the sound check and everything was going wrong. Just everything was going wrong. Georgie's mic wasn't working. Just nothing was good. This was genuinely one of the weirdest gigs I've ever done for so many reasons. So nothing was going right. And we were trying to do a sound check, but then they opened the doors and then just people, so many people came in. I thought, okay, doors are open, a few people, but it was like the whole crowd came in, and we were like, I don't know how much we can sound check because everyone's here now, you know, and everything had been, you know, line checked and stuff. So we were like, okay, let's just leave it at that and hope it will be okay, sort of thing. So I think we were feeling a bit nervous about not doing a sound check. Then we went to Spoons, and we all thought we were on at 8:30, you know, we get to Spoons for like 7, we're like, okay, this is all right, you know. And then Ben tells us, oh no, we're on at 8, and we'd ordered and we were taking, you know, it was taking longer than we thought to get food and stuff. So we're all a bit stressed because it was like, okay, you know, stressful journey in terms of how long it was, stressful sound check. There wasn't really a sound check, and it's like, okay, at least we can sit down and have something to eat. It's like, nope, we can't. We're on earlier now than we thought, you know. And then
were you the only band?
Yeah, there was a singer on before us, but the first set, my playing just felt so shit. You know those gigs where you're hitting the drums, you're like, everything feels dead. Like, you're like, this is nothing. Is like when you have a good gig and you can hear everything, it feels like, God, this drum kit's bouncing. You know, that's how I kind of describe it. It's like, this is great. But when it feels like, I don't know, trudging through mud trying to play the drums. You're like, this is fucking nothing. And it was almost like, you know, you hit the kick and it's just, you know, and you can't hear any kick or get anything back from the kick. So I start like compensating and trying to just hit it harder, you know, just because, and also you're looking at the crowd. It was the weirdest crowd I've ever played to, right?
Well,
so
Scotland, wasn't it? So.
Yeah, which, you know, everyone says Scottish crowds are the best, and
they say that when they're in Scotland, otherwise they'll get mugged.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying they're not, but this was an odd event. I think it, you know, it's been put on as this country event, but it felt like people were there just for like a country night out, and it was almost like, even though we were playing and we were the band, I've never had an audience seem so like uninterested. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I'll happily say that. I mean, it's not a good thing, but not as in like they weren't enjoying it, but just as in it's almost like they didn't know we were on. Like, it was weird. Like, I just looked out and I saw a lot of people just texting different points. I was like, what are you all texting, you know? You all on a group chat I don't know about, or
mate,
you know,
high at a gig, drums sound flat.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But yeah, but also, like, you know, we'd finish a song and George would be talking, and you could just hear the whole crowd are chatting, and you're like, it feels like no one's actually paying attention. Do you remember that gig we did in Portsmouth where we played in that hotel, that really coked up the hotel party?
Yes. Yeah.
And like every time we finished a song, it was like they didn't know that we'd finished the song or started us. It was a bit like that. It was like, what? There's a crowd.
I see a
there.
lot of that, man. I see a lot of that. Like, crowds just don't really know how to react. Like,
Yeah.
We did. Yeah. I mean, it was either, I think it was the Christmas party we did with Wonder Year a couple of weeks ago, where like they would love it. They were enjoying it. You know, they're up dancing. Some people don't give a shit. That's fine. It's your Christmas party. You know, you're chatting up the secretary or whatever. Someone's on the photocopier. No, there was no photocopier. It was a hotel. And you finish the song, and silence.
Yeah.
And you're like, you can't applaud.
Yeah.
It is optional, sure.
Yeah.
But where you kind of like that party, that one you're talking about in Portsmouth, where like you feel like, oh, we could just be a CD.
Yeah.
Like they're enjoying music, but not going. There's like a barrier between the band and the crowd of like, you know.
Yeah.
Take it as a compliment. You're so good. They think they're listening to the record. Take it as that.
Yeah, maybe. I think, just
I
a
went
lot
to
of
this gig in Glasgow, and it was just people miming to this CD quality audio.
Yeah, exactly. But I think it was just like a lot of people are at the bar, and a lot of people have come for like a night out, and we're almost like, oh, there's a band on, but that's just part of it. That's not the whole thing. You know, it was very odd. So this is the thing I wanted to talk about, my drumming. So, you know, we were playing, and in the sound check, it was sort of saying like we couldn't really hear Georgie's vocals and she couldn't hear herself, and the guy was going like, I've whacked it up as much as I can, like I can't do anything else. And so we did the first set. So this is an interesting drum related thing. And I was really like hitting it because I was just like, this is bollocks. I'm just getting no feeling, you know. And I thought if I hit harder, then maybe, you know, maybe it'll feel better. Maybe we'll get
That's
the
what she
audience
said.
some more. Well, there you go. There you go. Great stuff. And
Cheers. Thanks everyone. Take a minute there. Thank you.
But then after the first set, like, you know, a few people had said like, oh, I can't hear the vocals that well. And there was this guy I'd chatted to before the gig, just, you know, a punter in the crowd. And he said, mate, you four are great, but we can't hear the vocals. Like, I was in the toilet. I heard a few people complaining. And I was like, well, maybe if I rein it in a bit, you know, then maybe everything can come down and then, you know, then we'll hear Georgie. And yeah, and I was just like, just calm it down a bit on the drums. I don't need to be rim shotting. I don't need to hit the hi-hat as heavy-handed as I do. Let's just trust that what I play will be, you know, put out there. So I went from, you know, whatever out of 10 to, you know, 6 out of 10, you know, on the drums in terms of loudness. And it was like, huh?
In terms of ability.
In terms of ability, yeah, in terms of technique, which is generous. But I thought, oh, this is sounding better. Like, I feel like I can hear her in the room now, and if I can hear her better, then maybe everyone else can hear her better. And the gig was good, but it was still odd. It was still an odd gig.
Scotland's an odd place, mate.
It is.
Gig aside,
Mm.
first trip to Scotland.
Yeah.
What, any thought? Did you have an iron brew?
No. So this is the thing. It wasn't, you know, someone asked me this. They said, oh, well, did you get to experience any of Scotland? I'll tell you exactly what happened. I was in the car from whenever we got in the van, sorry. We drove through Scotland into Glasgow, parked up at the venue, immediately went in, did the gig, and then after the gig, we went to a donut shop that was next door to the venue. Oh, no, we went to Spoons, obviously. So I went to Spoons and a place that did donuts. So I wouldn't say...
Famously, there's no Spoons anywhere else in the UK. So
Yeah. You got to go to the only one.
Got to go to the nice, get some local delicacies.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, it's the same menu as we have in
well, do you know what
Brighton.
they have? Do you know what they have? They had the Empire State Burger, which I hadn't seen on an English menu for ages. So I was buzzing that I got to have that. But yeah, no. So it was just I didn't see any of Scotland. I didn't see any of Glasgow.
Right. Next question.
Yeah.
Did you drive home the next day?
Yes. So this was the thing. So we had a hotel booked in Carlisle that night.
Okay,
so
yeah.
We
Do
did
a bit of the journey back.
Yeah,
and then,
exactly.
Get back on English soil. Come on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we drove to Carlisle, and Chris, God love him, he has a sort of theatre cabaret show that he's doing on the West End at the moment. And he does, you know, a daytime show and an evening show. And he had it in London. And his call time was like 1 p.m. or something. So he said to everyone, he was like, okay, here's the deal, guys. I can get the megabus back after the gig and sleep on there. But if you're up for it, if we wake up at 6 a.m. and leave, you know, as in be on the road at 6 a.m. from Carlisle, then we can get back. And we were all like, yeah, it's fine, man. So... We get to Carlisle at 1 a.m. after the gig. Got to our hotel room, so I shared with Chris and Jimmy, and slept for about 4.5 hours, and then we're up at 5:30ish, and then back on the road at 6. But we got back in the van. To say we got out of the van at 1 a.m, we got back in at 6 a.m. And I was like, this doesn't even feel like a different day. This just feels like a really long day now. Like we've just had a little, you know, a stop and we carry on.
Still dark probably, wasn't it?
Oh, it was still the night, you know. So
you've seen no daylight, basically.
No,
Just,
no. I saw the whole time.
At what point did he say, oh, I've got to be in London at 1? Was it like after the gig?
No,
or did you all know this before?
No, he did warn us.
And they're like, oh, we got gig was all right. Crowd didn't really clap, whatever. And we've had a lovely Wetherspoons. Such a long journey. It's all right. We can have a lie-in the hotel. Ooh.
By the way,
do have a gig in London at 1.
Yeah.
What?
Exactly. No, he did tell us in the week, and he did say, look, I can get a bus back, but if everyone's okay with it, you know. And I did kind of think, well, maybe it's better to leave at 6 and just start driving.
Get it done.
Get it done. Yeah. So, but anyway, we get in the van. So I basically, the whole time I was in Scotland, I saw no daylight. You know, we arrived at 5. The sun had gone down at 3.
I think that is the local experience.
I
Actually,
think it is. Yeah, I think even if I've been there for a week, you wouldn't see much. But yeah. So we drove back, and long story short, I got back to Hove about 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And I was fucked because
Question.
Yeah.
Financially, you don't have to give numbers. Worth it?
Good question. I don't know.
Or do you go? It was a bit of money and the experience and that sort of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I can tell you financially, it was sort of, it was just the gig fee, but then it's like, but it's more than just a day.
It's fucking.
Gig,
it's such a long way. That's the thing. It's such a incredibly. It's tiring.
I
like you say, like getting up that early both days, really not getting much sleep. So much time traveling.
because it that was all of Sunday, and then even yesterday it was like you can't really do much. I mean, if you're Chris, you then go and play 2 shows, which is insane. But and 2 shows today. What a nutter / legend. But it is kind of like 2 days or a write-off. So I think we have said, next time we do a Glasgow gig, we'll try and get a gig in on the way the night before or something.
At least Edinburgh,
At least Edinburgh, yeah. So that was that. But
good.
Yeah, mad old weekend. But yeah, bless them. I think they did sort of apologise. They were like, "Oh, sorry, we couldn't do anything for your birthday." I think it would have been nice to have like even half an hour to like get a drink after the gig, or actually have like some time to have something to eat properly, rather than being like, right, smash this Spoonsburger and get back because we're on now, sort of thing. But it was good. I can't remember what else I was going to say about it. I think that's everything important.
That's
about
fine.
Oh, my God!
Oh.
The bass player, he bass step. So Jimmy's friend, he because we were looking for a bass step for this gig. We said it might be quite tricky to find one, because it's Scotland, and as we've just said, it's it's a long way, blah blah blah. And Jimmy says, "Well, I got this friend who lives in Scotland. I think he'd be up for it." And 55-year-old. Ex-policeman. I think he still is in the police, not the band. But he'd never met me before, but he'd heard it was my birthday, and if we had video, I could show you it. But we get to Spoons, and the band give me a present, which is very nice. It's a cowboy hat, whatever, and a card and stuff. And then he turns to me and goes, "It's your birthday," and I was like, "Yeah." He goes,
"Do that accent again."
"It's your birthday."
Right. Where's he
doing
from?
Sort of Terry Wogan.
Yeah.
"Oh, I hear it's your birthday today." And he went, "Here you go," and gave me a very expensive bottle of whiskey. I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "I don't even know you. This is amazing," I was like, "Thank you so much." He's like, "Oh, it's all right. How is your birthday? It's all good." So,
and all you had to do was fuck him. I mean, you're already tired. What's a couple of pumps?
Well, exactly.
For a bottle of whiskey these days.
What is a bottle of pumps?
Should we move on? Should we move on?
Yeah.
Right. Do you want a couple of bits?
Please.
Finish up with?
Please.
Right. I was going to go back to Advent calendars. I don't know if you've seen what Graham Russell Drums are doing. Have you seen what they've been up to?
No.
So they're doing like an Advent calendar of deals. They're not paying me to say this. They can if they want. I'm just keeping my eyes peeled because I think this is very, very clever thing. So they're basically each day they're doing a massive sale on one particular item, whether it be a snare drum or a kit or something like that.
Right.
And they're basically like the deal is on until it's sold or until Christmas Day.
Right.
So it's quite like interesting being like, I think today's, was this Tuesday? It's like their most expensive kit I think they've got in is like a Yamaha PHX. It's like $9,000. They've just knocked like 1,500 quid off it.
Right.
Like that's the deal till Christmas Day. So it's worth keeping your eye on.
Yeah.
Because you never know if there's a little bargain gonna be had. Anyway, right. So I'm gonna move on to a couple of other little things that are quite sort of local to my wife. My wife is not from this part of town. She is from Cambridgeshire. But unfortunately her nan passed away a couple of weeks ago. Peggy, R.I.P. And so we went up to Cambridge to her funeral Sunday night. The funeral was Monday. And it's kind of weird. I know her family, but there's obviously lots of people you don't know. It's in a crematorium. It's a very snazzy new crematorium. And it's kind of weird when you don't really know anyone.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
And so one of my wife's cousins from that side of the family did a sort of eulogy sort of thing. And when you sort of don't really... It's weird, isn't it? Because you can, you know... I met her twice, maybe. I'm there for my wife and her family, but I don't really know most of the people there. It's not really like... Do you know what I mean? It doesn't affect me in a way.
Yeah.
Anyway, he gave this eulogy and he did this speech. Very nice, you know. And then he did like an A to Z of things to do with his nan, with Peggy. And my brain instantly went, he's been on ChatGPT.
Right.
Things I could say.
Yeah.
And he did this A to Z, right? And there's obviously lots of things personal to them and all the family you could see in jokes and things like that. And I'm thinking, what is he going to do for Zed?
Yeah.
What is he?
Yeah.
Because I don't think she had a pet zebra.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
No.
Like, and it was great because there were some that were good. You know, he had multiples for some letters. And it was like, umbrella. She always put an umbrella up when it rained. And you're like, yeah, I think a lot of people do.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking, what's that going to be? I just so wanted to go. And Peggy loved her pet zebra.
Yeah.
You know?
Or her favourite band, you know, is that ZZ Top. Yeah.
I'm joking, of course. R.I.P. Peggy. Now, where my wife grew up, it's a tiny little village, right, in Cambridgeshire. And a couple of years ago, there in a village called Bluntisham, right, we went up not long after this happened, but it was talk of the town, right? There'd been a double murder.
Love it.
Right? Double murder. Shotguns. A couple of people gunned down, right?
Yeah.
And I remember at the time, there was a family feud or something, and someone just went, it's 2 houses, killed 2 people, part of the same family. This wasn't Peggy, by the way. I've changed tack. Now, I'm flicking through the channels last night. Channel 4. 24 hours in police custody. A fucking double murder in Bluntisham. They fucking 24 hours in police custody. This thing.
Love it.
Right. Watch. But it's weird because for some reason it's more exciting when you're like sort of know the place.
Yeah.
I don't really know the place, but obviously my wife does. And then like they're doing like, you know, overviews on the fields. And you're like, oh, that's my village.
Yeah.
Oh, I know that house. That's where Thingy lives.
Yeah.
And you're watching a program about 2 people being murdered.
Yeah.
But it really is mixed on the telly.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? It really is. There he is. There he is. I know that house.
Yeah.
You know, they found 2 shotgun cartridges. And you're like, hey, there's the house. Yeah. Yeah, I know that road. You know. And it was similar because there was another documentary about some sort of drunk driving accident. It was on Portsdown Hill a few years ago. And you're like, hey, there it is.
I had it with, there was a police show and same thing. There was a murder. And I didn't even know it had happened, but the dad who killed his family or something happened in a road near my parents' road. It was all Emsworth, baby. And but I was watching it, just unbeknownst that it was going to happen. And then it just went, this happened in the small town, you know, on the coast of England, Emsworth. And I went, fuck off. Brilliant. Now I'm watching, you know, terrible, awful. But,
awful.
You know, and you watch it, look, it's Tesco, you know. I go there.
I've been there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It just
by the way,
changes
did you say what Zed was in the funeral? My internet went a bit weird.
Oh, I can't remember.
Do you know? I felt like, did I zone out? And then he said it, and then I'd hate for. Oh, fair. It felt like it was leading up to. That was like a Jack Hall story. Did I ever tell you that Jack Hall once told this story? We were at a band practice. Jack Hall, great bass player, but could not tell a good story. My God, he went, oh, the other day I was at work, right, and I said to Sheila, I said, can you smell burning? And she went, yeah, I think I can. And so Sheila then says to her husband Paul, says, can you smell burning? He goes, yeah, I think I can. And then Paul says to Simon, can you smell burning? Yeah, I can. And then he just stopped talking. And that was it. And we were all sat going, "What? Jack, the story can't end there. What the fuck was?
And people smelt some burn. That was good. Great.
And he was like, "Oh yeah, someone left the cooker on and something was burning." I was like, "Well, end with that for fuck's sake." Anyway. Oh, sorry, that was a side note. Just popped into my head.
That's all right. Should we wrap up there, boy?
Yeah. Let's wrap up
there.
But,
let's wrap up there. Thank you for listening. drumanddrummerpod@gmail.com. We want to know any big murders happen near you and been on the telly.
Yeah.
We want to know what's a good if we got the Stewarts for hot rods. Give us some. What about Basil's for brushes?
Yeah, that'll do. That's
is this Stewarts or Basil's?
Brilliant. That's brilliant. Yeah.
Thank you. Going back in time there, Basil brush. Yeah.
We just need one for sticks. I mean,
could you go brand? Like Mark? Could you go? I'm on the Corrigans.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I'm on the Reeves, the Vic Reeves.
Yeah.
The Vic Firths.
Yeah.
What are we talking? Basil, Stewarts, Reeves. What do you want?
Yeah.
What do you want, baby? And then Timmy's for mallets. Follow us on Instagram @drumanddrummerpodcast. Also, don't forget, if you're new to this or whatever, drumcharts.co.uk website. I'm selling some drum charts, digitise them all. Go and have a look. And I've also been putting some drum covers up on Instagram and YouTube as well. So they're also on Instagram, but having good fun doing that. George, anything else?
No, I think that's it, really. Yeah, that's all I got.
Perfect. Well, we'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to Drum and Drummer. You can find us on Instagram @drumanddrummerpodcast. And you can send us an email to drumanddrummerpod@gmail.com. Remember, just pick up the sticks and twat it.